Like the country fresh foods you find at a market, West Virginia brand boneless ham is bursting with its own natural juices. It's ready to eat and easy to slice. But while many country fresh foods are at their peak of flavor for just a few months, a West Virginia brand boneless ham tastes good every day of the year. West Virginia brand. It's the one to pick.
Ear open. I get thousands of letters from children. Some really touch my heart. And some make me laugh out loud. I'm answering kids' letters on the next Oprah. Yay!
Monday at 4 on Channel 4.
Happy holidays from all of us at Channel 4.
Live from downtown Minneapolis, WCCO Television is proud to present exclusive live coverage of the 1994 Holidazzle Parade, a dazzling spectacle of lights and music. And now, here are your hosts for the evening, Don Shelby and Colleen Needles.
Good evening, everyone. You are looking down the Nicollet Mall, where in just a few minutes, the 1994 Holidazzle Parade will be underway. Hi again, I'm Colleen Needles. Welcome.
And I'm Don Shelby. Welcome to our coverage live of the Holidazzle Parade here down Nicollet Mall. It's the first of 26 of these that will be run through December 30th. So if you can't come down here, feast your eyes on one of the greatest parades in the country.
Oh, I'm excited to see it start. Thousands of people have come down, lined the mall to see this parade, and they have terrific weather to see it in. And we have Rebecca Coles to thank for that. Rebecca?
Yeah, right now, Colleen, it's partly cloudy outside. It's 33 degrees, and it feels fabulous in comparison to what it felt like last year when the wind chill was something like 22 degrees below zero. As you can see behind me, the head car is getting ready to move through the streets to start the parade. Behind that is Cindy Hilger. Throughout the parade, I'll be on the street talking to some people, and I'll also be doing some interviews with some of the characters in the parade.
All right, thank you very much. This is going to be a lot of fun and in great weather conditions to enjoy it. So there's still time to come down if you'd like to come down here. It looks like the parade is just about getting ready to start, as Rebecca pointed out. The lead car is on the way. You can hear the crowd starting to cheer up because they can see some of the floats beginning to move. And we'll turn our cameras on them right now as it comes from 4th Street on Nicollet Mall all the way down to 12th. The parade will last 25 minutes in its entirety.
WCCO is proud to kick off tonight's festivities as the official sponsor of the first Holidazzle Parade. You know, what's unique about this parade is that it is all lighted up. The total number of lights add up to over 200,000.
And even with that big number, it's not just a parade of light. It is actually a parade of lots of different kinds of mixed art. You'll hear a lot of music. Each float has its own sound system and a song written especially for its theme. Local songwriters Eric Anderson and Rick Walsh originally produced all of the parade music. Anderson was a founding member of the popular local group The Wallets. You remember those? Rick Walsh is president of the show company, the organization that built all of these floats.
And here is the first float of the night. It is called the Fanfare Float. It has our very own WCCO TV anchor, Cindy Hilger, as the celebrity grand marshal of the parade. She has her son, John, with her.
Hey, Cindy. Cindy, do you hear us?
John and Colleen, I sure do. This is the most beautiful night for parade.
This is wonderful. How's John Michael enjoying it?
John Michael is having the time of his life. Bert and Ernie are his all-time favorite Sesame Street characters, so this is a dream come true for both of us.
That is wonderful. Is this the first time you've been a grand marshal of a big parade like this?
A big parade like this, that's for sure. I've never seen crowds like this along the mall.
I guarantee it's John Michael's first time being a grand marshal.
You guys have a good parade. We're going to keep moving. All right,
thanks,
see you later.
Did you see the size of his eyes? I know he's not quite sure what he's in for there.
My goodness.
What a beautiful sight.
Bert and Ernie. Can you imagine being a kid and being flanked by Bert and Ernie in your own parade?
I don't know. That's terrific. They're part of the Sesame Street live show that is appearing at the Target Center.
January 4th through the 8th, you can see them, and tickets are still available. Here's my favorite, the Christmas lights. I love these things because look at this. I think that's the funniest parade float I've ever seen in my life. It's from NSP, and it's just a string of lights. and an NSP worker is part of the unit to make sure the bulbs stay lighted up through the parade. The string of lights consists of 8 bulbs. It's become the signature unit of the Holidazzle Parade.
I wonder if that guy could come to my house and make sure my lights stay.
Can you imagine? You can do your whole yard in that one string right there.
That would be it. You wouldn't have to worry about the rest. They're making their way down the mall. All the folks who have lined up all along these streets are getting a real good look at all these floats. And what makes it so special, as we mentioned earlier, is that they're lighted up. And so regardless of whether you have a front row seat or not, you really get a good look.
Yeah, you're just beginning to see these lights. None are quite so big as the NSP string of lights that just went by. There's a look of a child who is dazzled by the Holidazzle Parade.
And you know, this year it's a lot easier to be dazzled because you're not quite so cold as you were last year. We mentioned it, but it really was a hard time to watch a parade last year. Now this whirling, twirling miniature float is called a doodlebug. The float designers re-engineered 2 golf carts to make this incredible maneuvering possible. See, the driver uses a joystick to direct the cart and foot pedal brakes to stop it.
The Holidazzle Parade started 2 years ago. Actually, it was an idea created by the Downtown Marketing Committee, making it one of the only successful things ever done by a committee, if you understand what I'm saying. But their goal was to create a family event that would bring people to the downtown area during the holidays, and it sure worked because the Holidazzle Parade is expected to bring 500,000 people to the Nicollet Mall shopping area during the 26 performances between now and December 30th.
I don't know if you can see behind our doodlebug coming up is the toy soldier atop his drum. You can see him in the distance there. I want you to take a real close look at that drummer when we see him coming up to see if he is real or not. Keep an eye on him.
Because the question is whether some of these things are mechanical and robotic, and whether some of them are actors, are you saying?
Well, this particular toy soldier stands almost 13 feet high. We're told he can be seen.
Timberwolves could use this guy.
They definitely could use this guy. We're told that he can be seen from 3 blocks away, and that keeps the crowd down the mall entertained while they're waiting for it to show up. Just in front of us now, passing our doodlebug and upcoming the toy soldier and drum.
The thing that amazes me about all of this is just not the mechanics of the lights and the batteries, and all of this is self-contained, but just the mechanics of getting these things to go down the street without bumping into each other. The employees of WCCO TV are very familiar with the Holidazzle since the parade has passed by our building on 11th and Mall nearly 50 times in the last 2 years, and I keep bumping into the thing on the way to the Timberwolves games. It takes a while to cross the street when you have a 25-minute parade.
You might do well just to stay and watch the parade.
I have. I've watched this thing thousands of times.
Okay.
Do you hear this music in the background? Well, we're going to be spending a lot of time listening to music as the parade passes us by. Every night during the Holidazzle, different bands from around the metro area perform. Tonight's band is the New Freedom Band, led by Pat Prochaska. And as you can see, each member of the band is lighted from head to toe. These are sweatsuits that they're wearing, actually, with Velcro on the sleeves and legs for the lights to attach. The lights get their energy from battery packs, and each member wears a battery pack around their waist. Let's listen to some music. Freedom Band led by Pat Prochaska.
Well, you can see who's coming down the street now. We're hoping we can go to Rebecca Coles, who has some special
Well, I'm
guests.
here with Alice in Wonderland. Can you tell us who's with you tonight?
Well, we have the Queen of Hearts and the Mad Hatter and the White Rabbit and the cards and the teacup. We're having a great time.
Good. Well, continue on. Thank you very much.
That's a nasty.
Boy, they're zooming by so quickly.
Oh, great group.
The Alice in Wonderland characters are some of the most elaborate costumes in the parade, as you can obviously see. Almost all of the 223 costumes you'll see tonight were designed by Jack Edwards and constructed by various Minnesota artists at places like the Minnesota Opera and the Children's Theater Company.
This is one of my favorites. We have the second of 9 floats in the parade coming up. This one is called the Hey Diddle Diddle, the Cat and the Fiddle, the Cow Jumped Over the Moon, and so on and so forth. You know how that one goes?
Yep.
One of my favorite nursery rhymes. Incidentally, all of the floats were made here in the Twin Cities. They were designed by Jack Barkla, who has worked with the Guthrie Theater, the Children's Theater. He has designed all the Dayton's auditorium shows. And the floats were built, constructed by Rick Walsh of the Show Company, and they do an absolutely incredible, beautiful job.
One of the things, people, little known fact here, that the people who volunteer for those star things, they have to put them on, and they can't take them off until December 30th. They have to sleep with them on. That's not true at all, of course it's not. The dish and the spoon has been one of the popular items throughout the 2-year run of the Holidazzle Parade. It looks like the crowd seems to be enjoying it again tonight. Last year, as you remember, there was a lot of not only cold, but there were some very windy nights. And on one very windy evening, the poor dish was hit by a gust of wind, and it blew all the way down 8th Street.
Oh, no.
Yes,
is that true?
That is a true thing. It's one of the few true things I've said tonight.
Well, every kid knows this nursery rhyme, and certainly my children are no exception. This is one of their favorites. And that's what's really neat about this parade, is it brings in a lot of nursery rhymes and a lot of familiar things to children. So these are all stories and songs and characters that kids know very, very well. So
if you watch closely, you can see the cow jump over the moon right here. There it goes.
Up.
Light it up.
Yeah.
And there it goes.
Well, chugging along next is our toy train, added to the Holidazzle Parade last year. It's designed to be light enough for people in wheelchairs to maneuver the cars, and tonight one of the 4 train cars is being propelled by wheelchair volunteer Carol Gunnick. This attraction is really helped accomplish the Holidazzle's goal of giving all interested volunteers an opportunity to participate. This particular train was designed by Jack Edwards and constructed by Proper Productions of Minneapolis. And of course, none of this would be possible. None of this entire parade is put on by volunteers. And every night people come out and just to have fun and be part of this community event.
During last year's coverage of the Holidazzle Parade, we had a special sort of behind-the-scenes moment of everybody getting ready and trying to strap on the lights. And if you've ever tried to get all the lights on a Christmas tree going at once, can you imagine getting 230,000 of these lights going simultaneously and not going out?
And usually you are in the warmth of your own home when you're trying to do that. I mean, it's no easy task outside, and it will get colder, I'm sure, this season. So it gets tricky.
But they're out here, rain or shine.
Definitely.
Or I should say snow or shine.
Well, yeah.
Here comes a group of famous storybook characters, including Little Red Riding Hood, the wolf, the 3 little pigs, and the 3 bears. And we have 2 new faces in the group this year. Goldilocks, who woke up from her nap and headed to downtown Minneapolis. And the Hickory Dickory Dock Clock.
I don't know if you can see on the side of the clock, there's a mouse. A clock wouldn't be, Hickory Dickory Dock wouldn't be a worthy clock. We didn't have a mouse running up and down the side of it.
I was sort of slow as a youngster. I never did get the message of the Hickory Dickory Dock rhyme. The mouse ran up and then it ran down and then it was over. That was the whole thing.
That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
I don't think you missed anything.
There it is. There's the mouse. Oh, you saw it there for a moment.
Okay.
And the 3 little pigs. There's Goldilocks, the newcomer.
What's nice, too, is that they have a chance. A lot of the kids along the way get to shake hands with some of their favorite characters as they go down the...
And if you look closely, you can see those are the properly sized bears. The big bear, the little bear, and the little baby bear.
Oh, my. Look at these guys. You think they're a little chilly tonight? Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub. This Mother Goose rhyme is a new addition to the Holidazzle Parade this year. Now, don't worry too much about these guys. They really don't have to worry about getting frostbite because they're wearing flesh-colored thermal shirts, and we're told that's not real water in there anyway. It'd be frozen solid if it were. Perhaps the most amazing thing about this parade is that 120 people a night volunteer to take part in this, and more than 3,000 people are going to be involved in the 26 parades.
People from all over the metro area, including many downtown workers and employees and companies who've sponsored specific nights at the parade, make up a majority of all of the volunteers. The Aquatennial Association has been helpful in lending their time and expertise. Here we have the Mother Goose float, sponsored by the Tom Thumb stores. And if you look closely, you might recognize who's in it. Some of our favorite nursery rhyme characters, Little Miss Muffet, Jack and Jill, both are in there. Little Bo Peep, that's Jack and Jill. Jill to your left, Jack to your right. They sure look like they're enjoying the calypso beat of the music, and I remember that as being part of that nursery rhyme. But I think they cha-cha'd all the way up the hill or whatever it was.
You know, I've noticed you're having as much difficulty in pronouncing Mother Goose.
Yeah.
It's Goose, I think, as we've been saying it tonight.
When your lips are frozen solid, that's what it is.
You'll notice that each of the floats is self-contained, and they are all built directly over a car, a bus, a truck, or Jeep frames, and they include up to 24 batteries to power the lighting and the sound systems. They range in size from 16 to 47 feet.
Jack and Jill merengued up the hill. Oh, look who's here.
This is one of our favorites.
You know, and you also hear some boos. Let me explain what that is.
Oh, this is the Wizard of Oz. And all
that's who's getting the boos.
Man, I guess so. The Wicked Witch was added to the Holidazzle this year on her specially made bike. Nobody likes her.
Oh, well, who would?
What did she say? What's her favorite?
I'll get
line?
you, my pretty. Of course, that was not me that said that. It was we had that on tape.
Yeah, right.
That was Margaret Hamilton's own voice at that one.
You did that very well. And it's not too often you hear the boos and hisses in a parade, but if anybody deserves it, she does. The old woman who lived in a shoe. That's our next float coming down the street. You know how it goes? She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. Well, you'll see what she does with them in just a minute. It was sponsored by the Do the Town and the Park Free programs, and which allows you to park free downtown on nights and weekends with a $20 purchase. The shoe was carved from a massive piece of styrofoam by technical director Myron Mortel. Can you believe that?
And as you hear the song, it is the title song called If the Shoe Fits, Move In. The entire soundtrack of Holidazzle is available on cassette, and you can call the Minneapolis Downtown Council at 338-3807 to find out where the cassette is available.
I told you we were going to show you what she did with all those kids she didn't know what to do with. They're tooling along behind her in little shoes. Actually, they're shoe carts or go-karts, if you will, made to look like a giant high top, a tennis shoe, and an elf slipper.
These are the three that she didn't know what to do with. They're more in the shoe, of course. How about this coming up? Two more doodle bugs, the Snowman and Snow Woman, a real lively couple. Once again, there are two golf carts underneath all of that. And these characters are specially designed to spin in a circle. Has a special kind of steering mechanism for a golf cart. The driver has a joystick to control the direction of the doodle bugs.
Tonight, Holidazzle expects about 20,000 spectators, and for those people who have questions regarding the downtown area, US West is sponsoring 30 Holidazzle ambassadors every night of the parade. They're identified by colorful red, white, and yellow jackets. They can answer any questions visitors may have. Plus, they can give you the opportunity to make a free local call. Oh, that's a deal. With their US West cellular phones. These ambassadors are also giving out free Holidazzle fun books filled with coupons from various downtown businesses. You can also pick up those fun books at some other area businesses.
There's Mr. Toad's Caravan from my favorite of all of the children's stories, The Wind in the Willows. The wagon being driven by Mr. Toad and pulled by Bert and Ernie, not to be confused with the Grand Marshals tonight. Two donkeys from Jomar Farms. There's Ratty and Bull. There's Toad and Badger. Characters of Wind in the Willows stories join Mr. Toad this year. The float features more lights per square inch than any other float on the vehicle and parade. All of the lights you see tonight, costumes on the floats coordinated by the talented folks at the Michael Murnane Lighting Company.
And this is a new one this year, the supersized pull toy of a mother duck and her ducklings, another go-kart powered attraction. You know, Don, there have been discussions next year they're going to create a giant baby to pull it down the street.
No,
yes.
You just made that up too. Here comes Cinderella. Who's she sponsored by this year?
She's sponsored by the City Center and Gaffa Day Common. Thank you, Don. The float is a real crowd pleaser, especially for the kids. And that is because the float designers got many of their ideas for this parade from Disney. This float has made all the more special this evening because, listen to this, it is a fairy tale come true for Patrick Cush and Tricia Simo, who were married earlier today, and they wanted nothing more than to spend their honeymoon volunteering to be Cinderella and the Prince. And I am sure they're going to live happily ever after.
That's wonderful.
Neat idea. I think the Prince and Cinderella, though, ought to get together there.
Got to remember, this is the first Holidazzle parade. There are 25 more parades between now and December 30th. It really is a great event to bring the whole family to. Each night, the parade starts at 6:30 p.m., runs from 4th down to 12th on Nicollet Mall. Take a look at this.
Ooh.
The majestic Chinese dragon is another new addition to Holidazzle this year. The dragon is human-powered down the mall by 7 volunteers, and it's the longest element in the parade. It measures over 60 feet, so we're going to spend about 15 minutes watching this thing go by. It took the volunteers some time last weekend during rehearsal to synchronize the movements, but this really is an incredible work of art. The mythological character is prominent in many Asian legends and fairy tales.
Wow, that is really beautiful.
I'm telling you, people would not believe that we staged this parade nearly every night through the 30th of December. Can you imagine how people who do some of the bigger parades around the country, if you told them they had to do the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade or the Rose Bowl Parade every night for 26 nights?
This is really a treat for us in this area. I mean, you know how things always look spectacular on TV because of the different angles. This parade is just as spectacular, if not more so, to be seen in person. So if you do get a chance, please come down this season and take a look at the Holidazzle. We're an equal opportunity
Absolutely.
parade. This is Jill in the box. This float is not motorized. There are actual people inside of it pushing it down the mall. Every night these parades are going to begin at 6:30 p.m. and they're going to travel down the Nicollet Mall from 12th to 4th Street. So again, if you have an evening free, even if you don't make one free, come down and plop yourself down along the mall between 12th and 4th and take a look at this beautiful parade.
Of course, the idea of the Downtown Council and the committee that put all this together is to get you downtown, and perhaps you'll leave some money behind when you stop and do some shopping down there. The choir float is sponsored by the Star Tribune, and it features a different local chorus for each parade. Tonight's choral group is the Minnesota Mass Choir. The Minnesota Mass Choir performs all around the Twin Cities. You may have heard them as a fine line gospel brunch on many Sundays throughout the year. Let's listen to this for a while.
Here comes another Mother Goose nursery rhyme. That's Jack Spratt. Guess who's next to him? Jack Spratt could eat no fat. His wife could eat no lean. And so between the two, they licked the platter clean. Jack Spratt is on stilts. Obviously, this guy's done this before. His name is Chris Eichrott, and he is a set builder and plasterer by trade in the Twin Cities. He's actually using his plastering stilts to make his way down the street. And that rather large woman next to Jack, that's his wife, Mrs. Spratt. 2 people are in that costume standing side by side. Their heads fit inside each ponytail with a hole to peek through.
Here we have the Jack of the Beanstalk float. This is sponsored by WCCO News Talk 830. Jack is triumphantly made his way up the beanstalk to the Giant's Castle. We're proud to say tonight that Jack is played so convincingly by star volunteer WCCO TV's Dave Baker, our national sales manager. How's it going up there, Dave?
he's having a good time. Hey, you're going to have to think about this. Who would you want to play in this parade?
I'd like to be that Jack Sprat guy, and then I would try out for the Timberwolves.
This, who is this we're looking at? Oh, that's part of the jacket. The candlestick. That is the candlestick.
Is that what he jumped over?
No, that's a different one.
Oh,
That one passed by.
oh, that's the harp. Oh, I
that's the
know,
golden
yeah.
harp,
And there
of
was the
course.
big,
From
the egg somewhere.
Jack and the
Yeah,
Beanstalk.
of course.
Okay. Getting our nursery rhymes mixed up here.
That's right.
Coming up now is the spectacular Captain Hook Float, sponsored by Pro X Photo. Gets a little closer here. We can look for some of the detail. That's what makes some of these floats so spectacular. Look for the smoke.
See, it's a sign of the negative tendency of television that we call this the Captain Hook float when we should call this the Peter Pan float. Why is it that we always
Well, this is
celebrate
Captain
the bad
Hook's
guy?
ship. Isn't it not?
Oh, there's Peter Pan. There he
Okay,
is.
he's there. Okay, look for the smoke coming from the cannons and the fish jumping from the water. That seahorse on that float is made from styrofoam, carved by local artist Dan Mackerman. It was carved with a chainsaw. The copper lighting found on this float was made specially to order to achieve the look the designers wanted. The construction team had to mix the color themselves, and then they dipped each bulb into it.
Ah. See what's following there? The gator with the clock inside. Remember that?
Evil cuss. He is no friend of most of us, yet he has fears it's hard for us to mock. Yes, I
Crocodile.
The gator knows how to move.
Here are 3 Christmas trees that are being pushed down the mall by volunteers inside of the tree trunks. Not just one, but 2 sets of Raggedy Ann and Andy's are entertaining the crowd, along with 4 different snow people, snow persons.
You must be politically correct.
Snow folks.
Following right behind those snow folks is a, of course, presents all wrapped up for the holiday season. Reminds us of the Santa Anonymous toy drive, which we're kicking off tonight.
Yes, we are. And we hope everybody can find it in their hearts and in their wallets to buy a brand new unwrapped toy and drop it off.
Oh, I bet folks recognize this character. A familiar face, pulled by...
Santa Bear, isn't it?
That is Santa Bear, now celebrating his 10th birthday. Can you believe it? He's known to all for his books and his TV specials. He's a sure sign Christmas is coming. He's being pulled along by a pretty brown horse from Jomar Farms. And here's a sign that the grand finale is not far behind. The snowflakes, this is one of my favorite. I love how they do the dark suits and the lights. No parade would be complete around Christmas. Holidazzle certainly would not be complete without Santa Claus and his reindeer. This float is sponsored by Dayton, which is the longest in the parade, measuring over 40 feet.
Popular guy. Listen to this
Very
crowd.
popular. Rudolph, of course, is leading Santa down the Nicollet Mall, complete with those dancing snowflakes.
What a great parade, everybody. Don't go away. We're going to be back in just a moment to wrap off the kickoff of the 1994 Holidazzle Parade. Stay with us.
The wonderment of a parade and a celebration of the holidays. Holidazzle 1994 wishes you the best and happiest holidays ever. Between now and New Year's, visitors to the Nicollet Mall will be able to experience 26 enchanting evenings of the Holidazzle Parade. The floats, the The costumes, the music, and the lights that dazzle the night are all a tribute to the many caring people who volunteered to help brighten our holidays. And thanks to the special efforts and contributions of Dayton's, U.S. West Cellular, WCCO News Talk 830, City Center, Tom Thumb, Gavaday Common, ProX, NSP, and the Star Tribune, this annual event continues to spread joy and awe to thousands of visitors during each and every parade. So come and experience the beauty from the sidelines, or volunteer to become a costumed, belighted character and see the wonderment of the parade from a different point of view. The traditions of tinsel and the glitter of holiday lights are alive and well on the Nicollet Mall. Come be part of it. Call 270-SNOW for parade times and for volunteer information.
This wraps up our live broadcast of the first 1994 Holidazzle Parade. Come downtown and see it this season.
A lot more going on down here at the meets eye. Enjoy yourself down here, and thanks for joining us tonight. Goodbye, everybody.
Good night.
Thanks to a cooperative effort between WCCO TV and our viewers, 1994 was a successful year for many local charities. This past summer, the Don Shelby Invitational Bass Tourney raised over $98,000 to help build a new Ronald McDonald House. Coats for Kids was an overwhelming success, raising 20,000 coats for Twin Cities children who were in desperate need. Thanks, Minnesota, for supporting the community where your feedback works.
4 News, your news, where your feedback works.